Okay.
All right.
What?
Bring us in.
What's the topic? First,
We're talking about Yelp. It's a powerful tool.
Yelp. Okay.
Okay. What are we talking about?
Yelp.
Do this.
Imagine a perfect world where you can build a restaurant, open the doors, and make loads of money. Unfortunately, those days are over. It takes great leadership, hard work, and long hours to operate a successful restaurant. Together, we can make it happen. This is Restauranttopia.
Welcome back to Restauranttopia. We got Anthony Hamilton, Dave Ross, and we're talking about Yelp. Here it goes. I gotta say, this is a tech company that revolutionized the industry.
As you know, we've been influenced by someone who is affiliated with Yelp, and we'll have those episodes coming out through Yelp with the restaurant marketing school and things like that. So I got to dig
Josh
deeper.
Koppel.
Yeah, because
Amazing operator, great guy.
Yeah, and I respect the hell out of Josh. But what I looked at is they positioned themselves now to where, love it or hate it, you have to rely on it. It's a huge advantage to use Yelp.
No. You cannot ignore this as something out there like Google My Business or any other listing service that is out there. You have to be on it. You have to have good photos. Your information has to be up to date. This is part of the industry now.
Let me tell you, they have per month 173 million unique users.
Okay, let's break that down.
And that's worldwide, but still 173 million unique users.
But you can look at your analytics and you can see how many people are going there. It'll be shocking to you.
I think we go there and we don't even realize it.
Correct.
When you Google a restaurant, what pops up? It's the first thing.
Yeah.
Trying to tie in the last episode with Anthony Bourdain because I remember there was a great quote he had.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Oh, are you good? Okay, because I looked it up because I was like, okay. Yeah.
It's hard to find, and it's a vague, and I hope it's Bourdain, but it could be someone else. Either way,
I have it right here for sure.
Someone who influenced me said, the barbarians are over the wall. And that's what I took, and I'll never forget that. It's like ingrained, and I felt that way because the castle is no longer safe, for like the restaurant being the castle, and the critics are over the wall. And I felt that was so profound. And I zoomed out a little bit and said, who's their target market? It's the diner, right? Yeah. Their target market is not the restaurant.
Their customer is the consumer, correct?
Yeah.
So they built this massive consumer audience, right? They're now trying to steer the ship back towards honoring the restaurant in a way that unites the two.
And they put themselves in a position to now where everybody depends on them. And that's what we're going to talk about today is why you should depend on Yelp, because it's way more powerful than I ever thought it was.
I'll go back one step, but the barbarians over the wall with the ability to give the reviews and that. I think this stuff was already happening. It was happening maybe on a much less scale, but
it wasn't centralized.
Yeah, but people are talking to their friends. They're going out to dinner. Now people are able to broadcast it and you're seeing it. But if you have someone going, this Korean barbecue is not authentic and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, my Nana, it was from Korea and this isn't authentic. Like, all right, that person just wants to pontificate. But if you're saying, all right, the service was slow, or you're using it as a tool to determine if there are failings in your operation that you need to address.
Yeah, so, and you touched on a good point there. Thankfully, everybody now, like online reviews are like a tractor beam, right? And we know word of mouth is one of the most powerful forms of marketing. It's still the case today. And what they've done is they've really mastered the word of mouth arena, in my opinion, because it is all word of mouth. And what do we do before we buy everything online? I think it's something, I have the stats here. We all read reviews before we buy a product. Yeah. 97% of people read online business reviews prior to making a purchase. 97%. Yeah. And so you have this now, this platform where you have this word of mouth and you have these reviews. We're all so accustomed to reviews now. We know what the outliers is. We know when Steve's pissed off for no reason. We know when Bob's wrong about saying that Korean barbecue. Like, we have that now built in us because we have amazing filters through experience of online reviews. Because, again, we can just automatically eliminate the outliers and say, okay, this person was having a bad day. 85% of people trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. 85% in the survey that they did. It's staggering. Wow. So more word of mouth correlation. 73% say that positive reviews make them trust the business more. 73%. And so
I would say it's in the aggregate. Like, if you see a restaurant that has 3 stars and 400 reviews, that's gonna get your spidey sense up a little bit. Exactly. I feel the safe, and again, there's statistics behind this, but the 4 stars is your safe spot. 4.5 is your where you want to be.
It's your winners, yeah.
5 is fake.
5 is 3.
Five is
3 reviews.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, there's no reviews.
Or
Yeah,
they
there's-
paid for reviews, right? Yeah. And it's one thing that the algorithm at Yelp. I listened to a couple webinars that they had this week just to kind of dive into it before we get into this topic, and they've structured their algorithm to try to defend against that sort of thing. So they have somehow developed this tool that works its way around fake reviews. They can somehow identify them if they see a pattern of behavior of a certain company or whatever the case may be. And I don't know what the AI is behind it, but I'm sure it's stout because they're not a small company. The thing I learned early about Yelp is I started looking at the aggregates as opposed to the individuals.
Yeah.
And then what happens is you notice there's one or two, there's always going to be an outlier. There's always going to be a one-off. Don't lose sleep over those. It could be Steve that had a bad day. What you got to look for is the common threads. So if you see 10 reviews of similar ilk that are talking about your French fries being cold, you got a problem.
Correct.
If you see one, that's one moment in time. But I can tell you where the operator, or at least I was, and I think it just is looped in with pride, and I think a lot of people suffer from this, is that you can't handle any bad news. Like the whole basis of our business is that we're going to please everybody. That's what we want to do. So when you get one negative review, it scars you. You don't care about the 300 people you fed successfully. It's that one table that sticks out.
But we have to stop making it personal. It is not a personal attack, and this is tough.
Listen, I wish I would have met Ken McGarry 12 years ago.
You're correct.
Yeah.
Again, this comes from, and I think this has been a common theme in our episodes, is my face is very punchable. So I know when
I laugh every time too. It's not even that punchable. I think just the self-deprecation is the funniest part.
a lot of people don't like me when they first meet me. I feel like
Wait, did they first meet you in a courtmeet over a lawsuit, or like?
no,
What?
I mean that's
that's
That's where he's
understandable.
met a lot of people.
we
Yeah, that's
meet a
what
lot
I'm
of people a
saying.
lot of different ways.
Right.
But don't make it personal.
It's hard.
Yeah, but they're projecting their shit onto you.
Exactly.
Now, use the data and look at it as that, but they're not saying, "Oh, Anthony is a bad cook," or "This restaurant is horrible." Now, they may say exactly those words, but that's not necessarily how you should take it.
Right.
And even if they are, like, I go back, this is business. This is not my daughter.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
Nobody's insulting my daughter. This is a business.
Yeah, and
You know,
that's easy for a businessman to say, but when you're the chef down in it, and it's your pride, it's your livelihood, it's your craft, it's a little bit different because there is such a huge emotional attachment to what you've created, and I don't want to call it art.
But
And
who put that emotional attachment on it?
well, the chef did.
Yeah.
But listen, and I'm just telling you guys, and that's what you care about. That's what you care most about. I don't care if it's painting or drawing or whatever the case. If someone comes by and shits on it, it's going to hurt your feelings.
But also, who's shitting on it?
Well, yeah.
Like, is it your friend who you respect and they're an amazing culinary person that has a fantastic palate? Or is it just some asshole that eats McDonald's?
Yeah, and therein lies the short-sightedness, though, of the operator, is that we are naive enough to think, and not everybody, but you can please everybody, and that's what you want to do. And dude, I'm telling you, it hurts when someone throws up a scathing review. It hurts until you realize, hey, this platform is prone for this, and I have to be able to sift through this. And to your point, don't absorb their negativity.
Yeah.
I think we got to get a couch out and have Anthony lay down.
I feel so.
Yeah, I know. I told you we're gonna appeal this one.
But you have to look at it objectively. You're not going to please everyone all the time. Are you being true to yourself? Are you providing amazing hospitality? Is the food objectively great?
Yeah. That being said, so listen, now they have a fan base that you can't ignore. It used to be like you could just not subscribe to Yelp, but now you can't. 173 million users worldwide, and I'm sure Ohio has at least 500,000 of those, even 1 million of those, right?
And they're dominating Google.
Dominating. Yeah, and they're dominating OpenTable with their new seating platform and everything else, which we'll get into. It's crazy. So they position themselves very cleverly, like they did the hard work of getting through the front lines of combat, and now they're on the other side, and they have this amazing following and amazing platform. As an operator, you can't ignore it anymore. You
have to.
No, you got to go engage. And that leads us to our next step is what you can do today is you can go to, I think it's restaurants.yelp.com, and you can actually go on there and claim your business just like you do on Google. And then you actually claim your profile. And guess what? You can upload as many photos as you want to upload. It's unlimited. You can upload as many as you want as an operator. So you have an opportunity to take those amazing photos that you got from Eat Local Ohio, and you can, you like that plug, don't you? And then you throw them up on Yelp, and then you control the narrative, which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I love that.
And then they have, so you have your profile, and then you have an opportunity to tell your story. They have a Meet the Owner section. So now you can increase your SEO. And chances are you already have this on your website. Just copy and paste it into Yelp and mirror it, right?
Yep.
It's a beautiful thing. We talked about what's the first thing that comes up when you search for a restaurant. It's the Yelp platform.
Yeah.
It's their Yelp profile.
No, you could type in, and I encourage you to, from a computer that's not yours, search your restaurant,
Yeah.
see what comes up.
Yeah.
Because you may be surprised that you're not coming up in the first 5 to 10 results. It could be much, much deeper than that. So what are the results